main difficulty in being a Rolling Stone is to pursue your other interests.
A very sensitive musician, you know? I mean, he might be embarrassed by that.
Play simple. You're leaving space and holes for people to fill in.
I am Charlie Watts. I am the drummer.
I'm Brian Jones, a guitarist and harmonica player.
Keith Richards, guitar. Mick Jagger, I sing.
Bill Wyman, I play bass. Guitar.
He had a tremendous presence, but he didn't impose himself. Stoneface, I think people called him or referred to him as Stoneface. He was rake thin.
You've always been the silent stone. That's been the image.
Great Stoneface, I know.
I have to turn my head until my darkness goes.
For over 3 decades, Bill Wyman held down the low-end rhythm of the Rolling Stones with an unwavering precision and cool demeanor.
I always wanted to be a musician. I always wanted to be in a band. And I knew it was so impossible and so unlikely that I would be, that I just dismissed it completely from my mind. And suddenly, last year, I remembered, you know, after all that time, suddenly remembered that I'd always wanted to be, and now I was, you know. It didn't mean a thing to me anymore. It's such a big ambition, it was unobtainable when I was little.
I see a line of cars and they are painted black.
Wyman was the band's silent engine, a bassist whose calm stage presence belied the wild rock and roll world he helped shape.
I'm not a musician, I just play in a band, you know.
With flowers and my love hope never to come back.
Bill had a very individual style that wasn't particularly hip or cool, but he was his own person.
Not to get in the way, not to be really noticed. Because if you did the right thing, you don't get noticed. And that's the way I play. Very simple.
It's not easy facing up when your whole world is black.
Wyman was also more than just the bass player. He brought curiosity, discipline, and even a bit of innovation to the group.
I remember seeing Bill when we first rehearsed up the road in a pub. You know, he'd had a different sort of upbringing. He's locked into an era that was before us, really. So when we got on the road, I think it was like liberation for him.
I told my parents and friends that I was going to give up work and go professional. Every single person I knew said, don't do it. Don't take the risk. And I thought, fuck it, I'm going to do it.
He kept meticulous diaries and documented the band's early days with photos, tapes, and journals.
I could not foresee this thing happening.
Bill was the first guy to have a computer.
I started to collect the little bits and pieces as we travelled. I was very lucky. I grabbed a little poster and someone would give me a photo they'd taken, and it just slowly escalated into this mountain.
He'd have his videos and they'd be all stacked up. I bet he's probably got them even now. He had movie cameras before everybody.
People always ask me why I collected things and why I built an archive like I did and still do. This is my little capsule of my life in here. I suppose if you looked at my bookshelves, you would sort of understand me better. I always thought it was important to keep a record of what was going on.
Much of which became invaluable in telling the Rolling Stones' early story decades later.
If I want to know what I did in those years, I have to ask Bill Wyman.
I took Rio as a film, 20 years of home movies, on the road.
Wyman wasn't flashy. He didn't crave the spotlight, but his bass lines were tight, melodic, and perfectly suited to the band's blues-rooted rock and roll.
We hadn't played one show from 82 to 89. So it was a coming together again. But I saw it as a grand finale. We did 5 Wembley stadiums. We did 6 Shea stadiums in New York. We went to Japan for the first time. We played the Tokyo Dome, 45,000 people, 10 shows, one after the other. It was fantastic.
In 1993, after more than 30 years with the Stones,
I'll get no.
In Prague, we played to 130,000 people because they came from Poland and Hungary and Czechoslovakia. All in all, those 3 tours, we played 120 shows, 7.25 million people. It was extraordinary.
Bill Wyman quietly left the band.
We finished that tour. I just sat back. I thought this is a nice time to end my career with the Rolling Stones on a big high. So I left.
His departure didn't cause a public rift. In fact, it seemed almost expected. He'd grown weary of the endless touring and was ready to pursue other interests. But his absence was felt.
All those 31 years with the band, I absolutely loved what we did, loved what we achieved. But I needed to sort out my personal life and my future.
Though the Stones continued with Daryl Jones as their touring bassist, Wyman's departure marked the end of the band's original classic lineup. Even Keith Richards later admitted that something was lost without him. A certain swing in the rhythm, a quiet force that had helped the Stones stay steady through their wildest storms.
Bill Wyman's an incredible bass player. I'm still always amazed by Bill's tastefulness in his bass playing, which is not something I think that most people know or anyone would think of. But when I listen back to what he's playing behind, I mean, I'll knock out a song, right, and say it goes like this, Bill. And then I hear what he's putting behind it, and I've got to say, this is the most discerning, a very sensitive musician, you know? I mean, he might be embarrassed by that, but I got to say, he's like the top bass player for me, man.
There's a lot of difficulties. I think the main difficulty in being a Rolling Stone is to pursue your other interests.
I could not foresee this thing happen.